Most people think Thailand is rich. Luxury malls in Bangkok, five-star resorts packed with foreigners, a country that attracts tens of millions of tourists and exports cars, electronics, and food to the world. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Thailand is wealthy, yet not rich. Money flows through the country every single day, but long-term power, ownership, and control quietly flow out of it. And that raises a dangerous question. How can a country that looks so prosperous still struggle with debt, inequality, and slow growth? In this video, you'll see why tourism creates cash but not lasting wealth, how Thailand produces for the world yet owns very little of the profits, and the silent trade-off that keeps the country stable but permanently capped. And stay till the end because the final insight explains why Thailand's biggest strength may also be the very thing holding it back. At first glance, Thailand looks rich. Bangkok's skyline is packed with glass towers, rooftop pools, and luxury condominiums. Mega malls stretch for kilometers filled with global brands, designer stores, and restaurants that look no different from those in Tokyo or Dubai. Supercars crawl through traffic, cafes are full, construction cranes never seem to stop. To most outsiders, this looks like wealth. Thailand's economy also reinforces that image. It has one of the highest GDPs in Southeast Asia, larger than many of its neighbors combined. The country exports cars, electronics, food products, and industrial goods across the world. Every year, tens of millions of tourists arrive, pouring foreign money into hotels, malls, airlines, and entertainment. So the assumption feels natural. Thailand must be rich. But this is where the illusion begins. What you're seeing is not deep, long-term national wealth. It's fast-moving money. Consumption in Thailand is strong. People spend, cities look busy, cash circulates quickly through shops, services, and real estate. But circulation is not the same as accumulation. Money can move through an economy without ever settling inside it. Think of it like a river. From the surface, it looks powerful and full. But if most of that water flows straight through, the land around it doesn't necessarily become fertile. Tourism is the perfect example. Tourists spend money, but much of that money leaks out through foreign-owned hotels, international airlines, imported luxury goods, and overseas booking platforms. The country earns activity, not ownership. The same illusion exists in Bangkok's real estate boom. Luxury condos rise everywhere, but many are owned by elites, investors, or foreign buyers. Property prices soar, yet average wages lag far behind. The city looks richer than the people living in it. Even GDP can be misleading. A high GDP measures economic activity, not how much wealth stays inside the country or how evenly it's distributed. You can have a large economy where money moves fast, looks impressive, and still fails to create lasting security for most citizens. This is the key contrast. Thailand looks rich because money is visible, but real richness is invisible. Ownership, savings, technology, control, and long-term leverage. And in Thailand's case, while money keeps flowing in and out at high speed, very little of it actually stays long enough to transform the country into a truly rich nation. That's why Thailand feels wealthy but remains structurally constrained. Tourism is often presented as Thailand's greatest economic success story. Every year, millions of visitors arrive with foreign currency in their pockets. Hotels fill up, restaurants boom, beaches, temples, malls, and nightlife districts turn into non-stop money machines. On paper, tourism looks like a powerful engine of wealth, and in the short term, it is. But tourism doesn't build structural wealth, it builds cash flow. Tourism money is fast, visible, and exciting, but it's also seasonal and fragile. A single shock can bring it to a halt. A pandemic, a regional conflict, an airline disruption, or even a change in travel trends can instantly dry up demand. And when tourism collapses, the economy doesn't slow down gradually, it drops off a cliff. Thailand experienced this firsthand. When tourists disappeared, entire cities stalled. Workers lost income overnight. Businesses that looked profitable suddenly couldn't survive without constant foot traffic. That's the weakness of an economy built on visitors instead of foundations. Even when tourism is booming, the benefits are uneven. Most of the profits concentrate at the top. Large hotel chains, real estate owners, resort developers, and urban elites. These players often have access to land, capital, and sometimes foreign partnerships. Meanwhile, millions of workers operate at the bottom of the system: cleaners, drivers, servers, tour guides, street vendors. These jobs create income but not wealth. They are labor-intensive, low productivity, and easy to replace. Wages rise slowly, if at all. Few workers gain ownership, equity, or long-term assets from tourism growth. When business is good, they earn. When it's bad, they're exposed. This creates the core tension: income versus ownership. Tourism allows people to make money, but rarely allows them to accumulate it. The hotels remain owned by these same groups, the land grows more expensive, the platforms collecting bookings and data sit overseas. Thailand hosts the experience, but others often control the value. And as tourism grows, it can actually crowd out other paths to wealth. Young workers move into service jobs instead of high-skill industries. Cities focus on attractions instead of innovation. The economy becomes optimized for visitors, not for upgrading itself. So while tourism makes Thailand look vibrant, busy, and prosperous, it locks the country into a cycle of temporary wealth. Money that arrives, circulates briefly, and leaves again. Thailand earns from tourism, but it doesn't own the future it creates. Thailand is not just a tourism economy, it is also one of Southeast Asia's major manufacturing hubs. The country produces cars, auto parts, electronics, appliances, processed foods, and industrial components that are shipped across the world. Global brands assemble vehicles in Thai factories, electronics flow through industrial zones, food products stamped "Made in Thailand" appear on supermarket shelves from Asia to Europe. On the surface, this looks like industrial strength, and it is. But once again, the illusion hides a deeper problem. Thailand produces a lot, but owns very little of what it produces. Most of the country's manufacturing success is built around foreign firms. Japanese, American, Chinese, and European companies bring in capital, designs, machinery, and technology. Thailand provides land, infrastructure, labor, and political stability. Factories run efficiently, exports grow, GDP rises. But the most valuable parts of the supply chain sit elsewhere. Branding, patents, software, design, and intellectual property are controlled by headquarters outside Thailand. Strategic decisions are made abroad. High-margin activities, research, product development, and global marketing remain in richer countries. Thailand earns wages, others earn margins. This is the core limitation of being an assembly hub. A Thai factory worker may help build a car, but the brand premium, financing profits, and technological edge belong to the parent company. The same is true for electronics and food processing. Thailand captures volume, not leverage. Over time, this traps the economy in a narrow lane. Wages can only rise so much without productivity breakthroughs. Competing countries with cheaper labor apply pressure from below. Advanced economies with innovation and automation pull away from above. Why not move up the value chain? Because high-tech innovation requires massive, sustained investment in research and development, risk-taking capital, and deep integration between universities, startups, and industry. Thailand has made progress, but R&D spending remains limited compared to countries that truly became rich. The system rewards reliability, not disruption. It excels at executing instructions, not creating new ones. This is the crucial distinction. Assembling wealth is not the same as owning wealth. Thailand assembles products for the world, but the world decides their value. Until ownership shifts of brands, technology, and intellectual property, production alone cannot turn a wealthy-looking economy into a truly rich one. The factory lights are on, the machines are running, but the real power switch is somewhere else. Thailand does have wealth, but it's uneven, fragile, and heavily borrowed. Beneath the malls, factories, and tourist hotspots lies a quieter reality. Thai households carry some of the highest debt levels in the developing world. Credit cards, car loans, personal loans, and informal debt have become survival tools, not luxuries. People spend not because they are rich, but because they must keep moving. This is why the economy looks active even when financial pressure is rising. For the middle class, this pressure is especially visible. Economic growth hasn't collapsed, but it hasn't translated into security either. Salaries grow slowly while housing, education, healthcare, and transportation costs rise faster. Families appear stable on the outside, yet many are one missed paycheck away from stress. You see progress, but you don't feel it. Inequality deepens this tension. Bangkok and major urban centers continue to pull ahead, concentrating infrastructure, high-paying jobs, and opportunity. Meanwhile, large parts of rural Thailand remain dependent on agriculture, remittances, or seasonal work. Productivity gaps between regions stay wide, limiting upward mobility for millions. Where you are born still shapes how far you can go. Social mobility exists, but it's slow and selective. Education quality varies sharply, networks matter more than merit in many sectors, risk-taking is discouraged because failure is expensive and recovery is hard. As a result, people aim for stability, not breakthrough success. This feeds into a larger structural problem, the middle income trap. Thailand is no longer cheap enough to compete with low-wage economies like Vietnam or Bangladesh, but it also isn't innovative enough to compete with high-tech powerhouses like South Korea, Japan, or Germany. Wages are too high for mass low-cost manufacturing, yet skills and technology aren't advanced enough to justify premium pay. So growth continues, but at a crawl. People work longer hours, cities stay crowded, businesses stay busy, but real wealth creation stalls. Productivity improvements are incremental, not transformational. That's the emotional paradox at the heart of Thailand's economy. Everyone is moving, but few are advancing. Life feels full, fast, and exhausting, yet the sense of getting ahead keeps slipping further away. And when an economy makes people feel busy without making them better off, wealth becomes fragile, not empowering. Thailand isn't poor, but for many, it never quite feels rich either. Thailand's economic story isn't one of failure, it's a story of deliberate restraint. Again and again, Thailand has chosen stability over transformation, and in the short term, that choice has worked. The country has avoided economic collapse, hyperinflation, and social breakdown. Its institutions hold, its cities function, its economy keeps moving even when the world becomes chaotic. But that same choice has placed a ceiling on how far Thailand can go. Political cycles play a major role. Frequent changes in leadership, shifting priorities, and institutional resets make long-term reform difficult. Policies tend to focus on managing the present rather than redesigning the future. Deep structural changes in education, taxation, innovation, or labor are often postponed because they are politically risky and slow to pay off. Stability rewards caution. Transformation demands patience and conflict. Nowhere is this more visible than in education. Thailand's system emphasizes order, hierarchy, and examination performance. Students are trained to follow rules, not challenge them, to memorize, not experiment. This creates reliable workers, excellent for factories and service industries, but weak foundations for innovation, entrepreneurship, and high-tech leadership. Creativity exists, but it's rarely systemically supported. The same mindset extends into business and policy making. Thai companies tend to avoid aggressive risk. Family-owned conglomerates prefer predictable returns to disruptive bets. Banks favor collateral over ideas. Startups exist, but scaling them into global challengers is rare. This isn't incompetence, it's risk management. Thailand learned from past crises that instability is dangerous, so it built an economy designed to absorb shocks, not chase extremes. Growth is steady, controlled, and diversified. The country doesn't swing wildly with every every global trend, it survives downturns better than many peers. But survival is not the same as ascent. By minimizing risk, Thailand also minimizes upside. High reward industries, deep tech, advanced manufacturing, frontier innovation require tolerance for failure and long investment horizons. They disrupt existing power structures and demand uncomfortable reforms. Thailand's system resists that kind of disruption. So growth becomes capped. The economy expands but slowly. Incomes rise but unevenly, infrastructure improves but productivity lags. Thailand avoids collapse, but it also avoids breakout moments that redefine national wealth. This is the strategic trade-off at the heart of the country's paradox. Thailand didn't choose the chaos of rapid transformation. It chose balance, continuity, and social control. That decision has protected the nation from extreme outcomes, but it has also locked the country into a middle zone, prosperous, stable, respected, yet never fully rich. Thailand stands upright while others fall, but it rarely leaps while others climb. And as the global economy enters an era that rewards speed, innovation, and ownership, the question isn't whether Thailand is doing well. It's whether stability alone will be enough to carry it into the future. Now, if you want to know why the world needs Indonesia more than Indonesia needs them, then you can watch this video showing up on your screen. Thanks for watching, mate, and a bundle of thanks for hitting the subscribe button.